people are like, here are New York people, or just in general, you're just not from Ohio. I think when the world or like America, whatever, paints this picture of Cleveland like it's this gloom, just like rundown factories, absolute dump shithole. The sports teams are bad. It's not a bad city. It's actually on the water. One thing I love.
What water?
Whatever waters, Lake Erie?
The Lake of the Cuyahoga,
is that what it is?
Is it called? I just remember that.
I think it's the water. It would technically be the water between like the U.S. and Canada, correct? I'm no geography guy.
No, it's the Great Lakes. Is Lake Erie? No, Lake Erie. Is Lake Erie?
I think
it's Lake Erie.
Because Cleveland's North Ohio.
My dentist is in Ohio, so
Toledo.
I think Canada's somewhere over there.
Yeah, it's the water between America and Canada.
Sure.
Wait, is there what?
Yeah, no, it's in. Aren't there the winds?
Yeah,
the winds coming off. No, the winds coming off the lake affect the football games a ton.
Yeah. So what I
What did that have to do with anything?
Put a little more air on the ball.
It's on water. Saying it's on water.
It's like, is there water? Yeah, the wind is crazy.
Well, no, I mean, you see those Cleveland games? I was betting all those unders when they had 40-mile-an-hour winds.
You're right. You're right.
So what I love about this city is that all their pro ballparks and like stadiums, they're all right next to each other. So I went to an Indians game, progressive, solid ballpark, had a great time there.
Sounds like you made some money on it too.
Did make some money on them. Had some drinks there. Had a lot of fun. But they have a great bar scene outside. I went to the Clevelander. I went to the Thirsty Parrot. Literally right outside the stadium. Like literally, you leave and you're walking into the ballpark. Underrated city. Had some good bar experiences. Clubs. Went to Dive Bar for people. Any Cleveland people listening right now or watching. Barley House, some good spots. I had a great time in Cleveland. I think it gets a bad rep. It's underrated.
Well, welcome back, Ev, and welcome back, Marty Mush. We missed you last week. How are you?
Good, man. This is my first time in the studio, and
it's different.
It's bananas that these chairs aren't rollies.
It's insane.
The fact that there's not wheels.
And the other ones are on the other side of the room.
Yeah. That makes zero. I've been trying to roll this thing for 2 hours.
That's how everyone's been confused since we've been here.
Did they just put the screws in the wrong, did they just mix up the bags?
They must
I think those bottoms should be on these chairs, these bottoms on those chairs.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
So you've been traveling. I mean, I would have just kind of catch up with the world of Marty. You've been living on the road.
Yeah, I haven't been home at all. Well, Brandon fucked us all. He got the vid, and we weren't allowed in the office. So
at least y'all didn't get it.
Yeah,
I've already had it, so I mean,
I haven't gotten it yet, but yeah, I didn't get it. I tested like twice or 3 times yesterday, all last week negative. I stopped in Florida to see my parents.
Oh, good.
Yep, hung out with my boys, and that was it. I really didn't. Last week I worked, but there was not much going on. But can we talk about something real fast?
We can talk about whatever you want. The floor is yours, Senator.
George Foreman is one of the most. Do you ever see his track record?
He's a pro boxer.
He fought forever. He fought when he was 50.
Oh, no. I don't give a fuck about that. First of all, he's still alive. Didn't know that. Second, he was married 5 or 6 times in 10 years.
Wow.
Huh.
Short stints. He has 12 kids. 5 of the guys, all named George.
Oh, I did know that. I knew that.
One of his
George
daughters.
1, George 2, yeah.
His daughter's name is Georgina.
And he's got the grills.
You know, and so what do you think? Like every time he just knew, like, if he yells George, if there's 1 in 5 chance that someone's going to come.
I think it's like George 1, George 2, George 3, George 4, George 5.
Yeah, it is. And did you know Junior is not, like, the junior, he has a junior and a second. Isn't that the same thing?
Yes, because there's a third. Usually it's the third.
Yeah, so
it's weird the way that, like, obviously with names, you can name your kid whatever the fuck you want. But they literally, you literally can just choose, like, all right, like, he can either be a junior or a second. My dad's a junior. But it's like you can just choose, or like I have a good friend whose older brother, dad, they have the same exact name, just didn't give him junior.
I like that. I don't want to be a junior.
Like they're both like their names are both just like Mike Wonder.
That's the
like
name.
Michael Wonder.
It's a great name.
How about the swag on George Foreman to have left such a legacy that he feels like he can name 5 kids after himself?
And
I mean, that's some swag.
And all your grills, dude. Like, could have named it Foreman. Like
But think that's probably why he started the grills. The amount of child support and shit he had to pay.
Yeah,
he was like,
maybe that's why he fought. He fought till he was like 50.
He's like, boxing career's over. I got to figure some shit out.
Dude, to have 5 or 6 girlfriends in 10 years is hard enough.
Exhausting.
Imagine being legally married. That's hard to do.
Was he ever married to any of them at the same time?
Probably.
Honestly, I think about like that many in that short a period of time. Like
from 74 to 85, and he's had the same wife since 85.
Like how?
Wow.
Can you,
so this one must have really.
Yeah.
One thing I will say though, I think after the first, maybe even second time, you can't expect your friends to get that excited about it.
No.
It's just not. It's
no, you
not
need to
fair.
elope. You got to elope.
Second
you gotta
time's
just,
fine.
You got to just elope and do, barely have a little go to the courthouse on number 3.
Like once it's third, I'm like, guy, like I'm not like I'll come to your party. Like I'm not. The envelope's not going to be as fat. It's not. It's just I'll show up. That's the most you can expect out of me. I'll show up.
I've had a few that I've gone to 2 now. I'm in my mid-30s. I've had a few, but I'm Ben Mintz. I'm hosting still this week with Brandon Walker out. We certainly hope best well wishes for Brandon. I think he's starting to feel a little better, but it said it's been a little bit of a slow recovery. He still was certainly tweeting and watching WrestleMania last night, so he must be feeling all right.
Oh, and yes, when Brandon gets back, I'm going to address a court. Because we have one person in Ben Mintz who is caught red-handed because he's an idiot himself.
He outed himself.
He outed himself. But, like, Mintzy's, I kind of understand. Brandon Walker, I'm coming for his neck when he comes back. And I don't want to talk about it without him here.
Okay, fair enough.
I want him to defend himself when he's here. But this show is a sham. Big F, do you agree?
I feel... There's a moment of feeling. It's one of those. Like, I don't want to get, like you said, I don't want to get too into it without Brandon not here. All I'm gonna say is, I said this in our group chat. I was like, I feel like I'm a sucker.
Me too.
For coming to my own brain for my picks every day.
I agree.
I'll leave it at that. And
just real quick, what we're talking about is that we think there's been some stealing of picks on the show. Fucking Mintzy. Literally screenshotted what his friend.
Actually, no, I misclicked. I misclicked a message that I was going over games with my buddy, my old co-host in Shreveport, who's really good with baseball, and a screenshot of the group chat. And once that happened, I just immediately outed myself. I had to. No.
It was even worse because it was like you sent the picture and then just copied and pasted what he said and put it under the picture. I was like, all right.
And then he went 9-1 that.
And then he went 9-1.
Yeah, no, I went on a run. I went 6-2 the next day.
Yeah, of course he did.
Well, no, I was doing the NBA raw, mine. I was getting help. I was getting help with baseball. I'll admit it. Look.
All right. Well, yeah,
we'll have to wait. That's
talk about
what the slope gets slippery.
But yeah, we'll talk about it. That's just what's been going on behind the scenes. So when Brandon's back, I think we'll have to have someone that's unbiased. I'd actually, if Dave knew it, that's to be a bad person for someone.
We can bring Big Cat in, maybe.
Big Cat's too close to home.
Okay, we got to bring in somebody.
We'll find somebody.
Okay, well, I admit, like I said, I'm pleading guilty whenever it comes up. So
yeah, well, you kind of have to.
Great.
You literally went to the police station. And was like, I killed this guy.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly.
You basically sent them a video of the murder.
I will say this though. I mean, I'm not even really defending it, but like, college football, pro football, bet college basketball, bet pro baseball. I follow college baseball. I play poker. I can't know everything. And Major League Baseball is definitely my weakest.
100%, but I don't give out NHL picks because I don't watch. I barely give out NBA because
I'd be fine with that. Maybe I don't I'll quit playing pro baseball. I guess.
Yeah, you don't even have to give it out. But that's we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. You're fair enough. But like I said,
just want to address it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Well, let's touch on Hideki Matsuyama, first Japanese player to ever win the Masters, and Japan is golf crazy. I think this is I know the Masters may have not been as entertaining as we hoped, but an iconic moment for the sport will certainly grow the game.
For sure. And the funniest part is that so he wins. What his caddy did and bowed and put the flag and was sick. But today, Matsuyama was just had a layover in Chicago by himself and just put his green jacket over the chair and was just hanging out by himself in Chicago.
I would say he was walking through the terminal, literally carrying it over his arm like this. Yeah. I was like, we can't get what are those things called? Like little the little holder things, like little covers. Like we can't get this guy a cover. The guy just won the Masters.
I mean,
we can't get this guy something to keep his green jacket safe for his trip home.
We can't get him a plane home like Masters. We can't do that.
The one thing I understand, I'm sure Georgia to Japan must be I don't even know if that's a thing.
Yeah, I actually don't know if it's a thing.
If it is, it's probably insanely expensive. I understand him not. That might have blew his whole $2 million purse on that. But so that I understand. That's a crazy long flight. But get this guy a jacket cover, something.
Yeah, something.
Even like a poncho to put over the jacket. It's a gorgeous green jacket.
And to be honest, though, the real winner of this tournament was Will Zalatoris.
Incredible.
Oh yeah,
Real
Big
winner.
time.
Because I was talking about this before. Is that he's 24 years old.
And he never folded.
He's a stoolie too. I realized because I looked him up on Twitter before, like when I was like, who is this guy? And he just like he had like 8,000 followers yesterday, and he follows like a couple of us. And today I looked, he has like 60,000. And with Adam Sandler tweeting at him was fucking hysterical, but he never folded. Obviously came in second, won $1.2 million. Now the question is, first of all, I said that gives him relevance for at least 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
big
Becoming,
time.
like
Big
in
time.
like he could be in last all the time. It's still like, oh, that's the guy who
Yeah,
like, came out of
second to
nowhere
last,
in
yeah.
second, and he's 24 years old. 2, is that the best place to be, like where he is, like in sports? Like we always say, like people say backup quarterback's like one of the best jobs. I think that's completely false because you could get in and you gotta learn plays and shit. But
Yeah,
like
you can't fluff it.
that
if
guy's
you don't
walking down the
prepare.
street, no one knows who he is. He just won $1.2 million. That's almost like how Kisner, like that guy's a top 50 golfer and he's just making millions.
Yeah.
That's got to be the best spot.
He's free rolling the whole rest of his career. He's already made $1 million playing the Masters. I mean, no one can,
Exactly.
no matter how bad it goes, nobody can take that away from him.
Yeah.
And like now his ad dollars just went up. Like his price just went up with ads, everything. Because now with golfers, like they sell everything. Like, look at freaking like the Shambo's little Kangol hat. Like he's got like 6 ads on that thing. Like this dude's gonna have he's gonna have ads on the collar. He's gonna have bigger ads. He's jumping
And
from
he's
whatever.
24, dude.
That's
like
what I'm
that's
saying.
The
where
world is his oyster.
he's
He's very marketable. Like he's a young guy.
and he's like even just him saying I'll caddy for Adam Sandler, like that's just like he's showing as a personality, and he
Exactly.
could tweet and like actually be funny. I mean that tweet had 180,000
Because
favorites.
think especially if the Happy. I don't know if this is true, but if the Happy Gilmore thing too is true,
Oh,
like him
he's
getting
there.
a cameo in there should be
Perfect.
a lock.
Or if he just
Lock.
does one small video with Adam Sandler as his
Yeah, for
caddy,
sure.
it's over. But shout out him though, because that's like he was in it the entire. Everyone thought he was going to fold a little bit.
Oh,
he didn't
yeah.
fold.
How
Also,
could you not?
He made a big par putt in 18 to actually make Matsuyama have to sweat it out a little bit.
Matsuyama-
Especially after Xander just absolutely
Xander had a
collapsed.
shot, and then he hit that wall in the water on
But I'm saying
16.
but then Zalatoris was a couple groups before them. He made like a long, hard
Yeah.
par putt on 18 to make sure it stayed within 2. So Matsuyama still had to go earn that win.
I feel like people aren't talking about it. Matsuyama's last putt. Like I understand they're professionals, whatever. He like hurried up and hit that. That wasn't that easy of a
No.
putt.
Well, I think on TV
it wasn't like a lot. Yeah.
I think on TV sometimes you look further because I think like realistically it probably was like as far as like my fingers like right here, like it's just that far.
100%.
But you see that gap and you're like, whoa, that's a lot of green between.
But the way he just went after was like it's still like the Masters, and he could have if he misses that at all. It's like it's only won by 1 stroke.
But I think it's good though because think about if he goes up, he didn't overthink it.
No, I think that's what you have to.
Like he
do.
was like, yo, like I've done this a million times. Go up, tap it in, win the
Do you
tournament.
ever do that when you golf, where it's like if you think about it, you're just gonna fucking. Because
imagine
show
if-
up and go. And
Imagine if he had walked up to it and then stepped back.
no, done.
Then everyone would be like, oh, like guys, just go
and then
tap
the
that
tension,
in.
and then the tension would have been there.
Everything.
Well, props to him though, because he hadn't won in 4 years. I mean, he was a rising star in golf
Mm-hmm.
4 years ago. I remember he was in like 20 or 25 to 1 and win all the majors, and then he kind of fell off. And then after 4 years, he just goes and ships the Masters. He has played well at Augusta before. I kind of mentioned that last week. I didn't have him. I'm not going to act like I had him or anything. But to not win a golf tournament in 4 full years and just go ship the Masters,
I feel like
pretty
he's
incredible.
always like been in a conversation. Like he's
Oh, yeah.
always like the
very
top.
talented.
I mean, like
He's a leaderboard guy. Like you, I feel like
Yeah.
you're used. If you like pay attention to golf at all, you see him at the leaderboard a lot of these tournaments. I feel like he's been in contention quite a few times.
But everyone's like the Masters great. Yeah, the Masters is always good just because it's the way it like just watching it is always fun. But it was kind of
No, it wasn't.
boring.
Well, no, the Matsuyama being from Japan being such a big story.
That was awesome.
That kind of makes up for the fact that it was a little.
But the thing is, it
It
was
was a little
exciting
dry.
for 5 minutes because first of all, Xander. First of all, it should be Xander. If you want it to be Xander's, put a Z. Regardless, him going straight into the water after that was just like, come on,
It sucked.
one hole.
that was the only
where-
time Matsuyama was feeling anything was right
That was
there.
where you finally started to get excited. You're like, oh, like he's gonna make this actually. Like he's gonna have to sweat this out with the guy he's playing with.
And
really make it
Matsuyama
work.
laid it up on that hole too. Like he took the safe route. He didn't try to go for like the hole in one type or like to go back. But yeah, it was like, that 3 minutes of was exciting. But I was saying this on Walk the Line. Nate was saying this like when they're putting on 18, they should definitely put what their prize pool would be if they hit the putt or not. Because Xander lost $600,000 yesterday on that triple bogey.
No, they definitely should. That would be awesome for the viewers to be like, this guy's putting for $500,000.
Just like poker.
Yeah, the laddering up from the final tables in poker. It's very, very similar to that. I had Xander top 5-1, so that bailed me out of the rest of my Masters bets. Luckily.
That's nice.
Yeah, well, the rest, Patrick Reed and Morikawa, and I had a lot of kind of dead ones.
Yeah, but Xander going from 1.2 million to 600,000, like, yeah, it's 600,000 is a lot, but it's still crazy that just that triple bogey fucked him.
Jordan Spieth too, after winning the Valero Texas Open, finishing I guess he at third.
I think he was tied. Yeah, he was
tied with Xander.
Got to give him huge props because his golf game fell off a cliff since 2017, and then he just wins and gets third in the Masters, and now his track record at Augusta continues to be phenomenal. I think the sport's better when he's competing. I
am so happy he's back.
Yeah, I do too.
He's just
good for golf.
He's just a likable person. Everyone wants him back. But yeah, him coming in, especially after, you're right, after winning that and being in the conversation is huge for him because he's usually crumbled lately in that shit.
Well, it's the one Masters that he just collapsed at. I mean, I feel like he just wasn't really the same after that. The one where he was hits in the water.
What do you have, like a 12 on 12? He had something ridiculous on 12.
And then he hit it in the water, and then that was he kind of just never bounced back after that. Wait, was that the one? Who was it? Was that the one that Brooks ended up winning?
Was that the one? Danny Willett? What was the one Danny Willett won?
Maybe that was.
I think that might have been when Spieth collapsed.
Oh no, because didn't Brooks then he hit it in the water and then someone else hit it in the water too, right after.
Yeah, everybody melted down and then
one
Danny
guy
Willett,
just put it up
who hadn't
there.
done anything the rest of his career, just randomly shipped the Masters. But overall, I did think it was a little dry too.
Yeah.
And the November one was too. DJ kind of ran away with that. I think 2019 when Tiger won made up for all of it. Now, Tiger, who knows if he'll play again? Certainly, just hope he recovers, but. I mean, you could just tell when he's out there versus when he's not. It's a whole different world.
Just his presence.
Yeah,
period.
exactly.
Yeah, I can't wait for him to be back. But golf Twitter is so fun to be in. Like, did you guys obviously probably saw the answer when he got the 2-stroke penalty, hitting the sand.
I saw memes and stuff. Yeah,
I mean, just tweeting like, "Oh, this fucking asshole! I can't believe he did that."
How dare he disrespect the game like this,
dude? It's like obviously I watched it 6 times. I was trying to find where he hit it.
I couldn't tell he did anything.
Barely hit a grain of sand. Can you imagine being the asshole telling him, "Yeah, you got a 2-stroke penalty because of this"? It's like, dude, who cares? He didn't try and do it. He barely touched it.
I couldn't even tell he touched it.
I know, me neither.
Golf's got the old school archaic stuff.
Does someone call that in and hey, we need to look at this?
Yes,
that's what it is.
Yeah, no, they have people. They got people on the course. I'm pretty sure they have people in booths and stuff watching every little thing.
That's great, dude. My dad, the Bay Hill. The Arnold Palmer is.
That's
my dad got my brother and his friends onto the course, and my dad went to go just talk to them and just set them up with everything. He just got yelled at immediately because his shirt wasn't on. He wasn't even playing. It's that's why golf to me sometimes is a little too much.
Well, people like that, you're yo, take it easy.
I'm not even playing, my guy.
It's just that you take yourself way too serious.
Yeah.
Way too serious.
I never understand why they make them when it's summertime and 110 out there. They can't wear khaki shorts. I don't get that.
Short. I'm okay.
105 degrees out there.
I understand. It's respect the game, all this stuff. It's just
kind of reminds me of baseball with the unwritten rules. It's this old school vibe that they need to get past, though. They need to get past and modernize. I don't know, but either way, congrats to Hideki Matsuyama. Big story, and then Japan's already golf crazy. I wouldn't be surprised to see big influx of more Japanese golfers coming after that. I'd like to see what the party's like for him when he gets back in Japan too.
I feel like he awesome.
I mean, I think it's pretty crazy. He just won the Masters for his country. Everyone was like Zalatoris had some pressure, but he had his entire country pretty much.
I saw Max Homo, who's obviously a big Barstool guy, said, "I get nervous playing just for my family."
Yes.
Imagine playing for an entire country.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And he never really folded on Sunday too. And granted, I think a big part of it was until Schauffele hit the water, he never felt any pressure because everybody kept just falling apart behind him. I mean, it was really, really ugly. And then Schauffele got back in it and cut it to 2, and then he hit it in the water immediately. And so he was never really in that much danger. Also want to talk some college basketball with y'all. Marty, congratulations on our first great season of Bench Mob.
Thank you, sir.
Huge success. I had Jake Marsh in here one day last week.
It's a mess right now. Everyone.
The transfer stuff.
Like 1,000 people in the transfer portal.
Yeah, it's college free agency.
I love it. That's going to be good for you guys for the offseason.
I don't think. Like, Mac McClung's now in it. I knew that was happening.
Well, yeah, once Chris Beard left.
Beard. What's his name from UNC's in it? And they're all like, UNC was trashing him, and now they want him back. Like, they're trying to get him back. Will Hartzell, I think, is. No.
I saw Arkansas has been clean. Muss has been cleaning up.
Arkansas is going to be dirty.
Yeah.
Likes is so good.
Yeah, he
was hurt all season, really. And
he was a preseason first team All ACC.
That was why Miami had a lot of injuries this year.
Miami was going to be really good this year, but they got the injury bug. But I think that Arkansas is already like, I know it's so early, but they're preseason top 5. Like, they are adding so many weapons, and Alabama just got.
It feels like Bama, Arkansas is going to be the big SEC.
Yeah, like Kentucky's going to have to actually like recruit now. Not just like people are going to go to Alabama and Arkansas. So shout out Musk, because that guy is recruiting his ass off.
Looking back on how much did y'all enjoy the Gonzaga UCLA game? I mean, I thought, because usually you'll have games that'll have great endings, but that one from the very opening tip, there was no league bigger than 7. I mean, I thought start to finish for it being Final Four, that was one of the best I've seen.
For sure. I mean, number 2 buzzer beater of all time in college basketball, no question.
Yeah, no, that
I
was.
think cemented itself number 2.
By Chris Jenkins being number 1.
Has to be.
It's a national championship.
But when a buzzer beater win national championship, especially like a 35-footer, it basically can't be topped. Yeah. I think it can only be matched. I think it can't be topped.
And I said this on Bench Mob where it's like, so I'm not so into college football, and I am into it because I gamble, but I'm not into it watching every single thing because I don't talk about it like you guys have shows or whatever. So being in basketball and watching everything and talking about it every week, I enjoyed the national championship, but I could see why people thought it kind of sucked because Baylor just beat the shit out of them. You know what I mean? And that's also like the college football championship where
Bama
it was like Bama killing, but you're watching every year. Ohio State obviously was in it, but I understand now why people would think that sucks.
I thought Baylor had one of the best title game performances ever.
I mean,
the way they came out.
Gonzaga didn't lose. No one was beating Baylor that night.
No.
And Baylor, it was like Gonzaga would take the ball down first half, and Baylor would just bully them and just take it every possession. Gonzaga couldn't deal with their athleticism and how physical they were.
That's what I was telling them. Like, Jake Marsh kind of went – Jake Marsh is such a fucking nerd who goes through, like – he just goes through the Ken Palm things and just looks up, like, the matchups. And on paper – believe it or not, Gonzaga's bigger than Baylor. And I was like, dude, it's a different big, though. Like, Timmy's 6'10", sure. But Flo Thamba is fucking, and Chimichawa, I can't remember pronounce his name either, is ginormous and way more athletic. And that first possession that they had, if you remember, they got 4 offensive rebounds.
Yeah,
Baylor.
Vital.
Yeah, Vital.
Like all these dudes
they
were just crashing
bullied
the
them.
boards.
So, like, that's where Baylor was just all around just better that night, and they bullied people, and Jared Butler didn't miss. Maceo Teague's got the ugliest looking shot, and he couldn't miss.
In. It's like the Phillip Rivers throwing motion of basketball.
I think the most underappreciated probably player of the entire college basketball season was Mitchell.
He's
like that guy's getting his own shots too. Like he's creating his own shots.
He's an NBA.
Like,
he's NBA first round. He's an NBA guy.
Legit NBA player.
He's a lottery pick.
I think I'd be shocked. Like I saw Tommy tweet this, which I thought was a great point. Like. Because I saw so many boards of Kispert above him. If you're taking Kispert over that guy, I know you guys love Kispert.
No, I mean,
if you're taking Kispert over that guy, like, go ahead.
Kispert's stock
Good luck.
Went way down in the past. Like even the Final Four game, he didn't play well.
No, not at all. He played horribly.
He's good. Like obviously, he's good.
He can
he's
shoot,
a great shooter, but he's like I'd rather Mitchell over Kispert.
Easy. A guy can get his own shot. Like, that's big. In the NBA, you got to be able to get your own shot if you're going to be a scorer.
I'm pretty sure the ratings were pretty good, too, right, for the championship?
From what I remember, I think they were very good.
Yeah, like
really.
I'm hoping I know this topic's been covered a lot, but the late start, well, hopefully they'll do something eventually.
I just don't think they ever will. I think they don't care.
Well, it was really just worse for Monday. And when they did the Elite Eight's usually Saturday, Sunday, and the Monday, Tuesday Elite Eight starting at 10:20 or 10:30 Eastern.
That was brutal.
And but I mean, you like make the Final Four. What are you celebrating at 1 a.m. on a weeknight?
Yeah,
you know,
seriously.
like I mean, I don't know. I didn't love that, but overall, I still really enjoyed the tournament. I know a lot of people were kind of trying to crap on it. I thought I thought it was still just great to have it after the last 2 years, and I thought the Gonzaga UCLA game though made up for a lot.
It made up for
a lot because there were a lot of bad games.
We needed that because there wasn't many good games, to be honest. I mean, there was Alabama's buzzer beater.
Every time Oral Roberts played was good.
Yeah.
All three of them.
I like
really
that,
good.
but obviously you knew it was coming down, and they barely lost too. Like Arkansas almost beat them.
Yeah, they got a great look too.
But dude, there was no buzzer. There was one actual buzzer beater,
and it was in the Final Four.
And
there were two to tie. The one to tie.
That was the first.
Bama UCLA.
It was the one that was the first game of the whole tournament. Florida Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and then the Bama.
That was noon.
And then the Bama shot.
Yeah.
Forced OT.
Yeah, I think it was a good tournament. I think that that's what we kind of needed, Gonzaga, Baylor too, because those are obviously the two best teams. And Gonzaga, I think that was their.
I think this could be tough to recover from.
It's going to be a tough road back.
I think this is like you see that with the teams that lose the Super Bowl in the NFL too.
Yeah.
Like this was their year, and
they have the number one guy like pretty much committed. Like he went to like high school. It's the same place as where Suggs went in Minnesota, but like I don't know, man. That was with everybody on that team. And I think Ayayi's leaving.
He is.
I think also helped Gonzaga that Duke and Kansas and Kentucky and Michigan.
Exactly.
It was more wide open because so many of the top teams are down here.
But yeah, and people are complaining about this transfer portal. Like,
I like it,
dude. You should be allowed to like, if your coach leaves, you should be able to leave too. And like, not even that. If it's not a good fit situation, get the fuck out.
Well, that's my thing. Where I was like, they crap on the kids for wanting to leave. I'm like, these coaches have contracts,
they're getting money,
which I know like players do too. To an extent, they sign like the letters of intent. They sign every year they have to like re-up the scholarship. Like they sign it every year. But I mean, there's so much of it that people why are people so against kids having like any control of their future? Like they're like, oh, like if you commit here, you got to stay for 4 years or until you go to the draft. But like the coaches can go buyouts, blah blah blah. They can leave whenever they want.
Yeah, I mean, shout out Bohannon too. They've been doing this whole like some states are
passing the likeness,
and they're getting like Luka Garza had the first NFT from somewhere. He's making money off it now. It's like, dude, why not? Like we're not asking you to pay them to play like their games. Like if they're that good, give them some money. What's hurt so bad? The
argument, like if you want to talk about like the programs themselves paying the players, whatever. But I just feel like there is zero ground to stand on to make a real argument that the kids shouldn't be able to profit off their Instagram, Twitter, likeness, blah blah blah. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Like there's no like it makes zero sense to say that they can't do that, and that's why I think it's obviously gonna go on more and more. See this happen, right? We've had so much shit happen right in between the time that we've been out, but they had the kind of the opening with the Supreme Court, and I mean the NCAA was getting a body bag from everything I was reading. I mean, because their whole thing is amateurism, and they're like, amateurism, you're $1 billion company. What do you mean amateurism?
And like it's like that kicker or a punter that was on YouTube that had
it's just
thousands and thousands of subscribers. Like, dude, let him get paid for. He's not like you're not even having to take money out of your pocket.
No, they're literally just like suppressing them from making money.
Yes.
No, they literally basically are signed on indentured servants,
and it's only
that's
athletics.
like what they become. Yeah, it's just sports.
Geo Baker pointed out that if a music scholarship sold an album, they're fine to do that.
Yeah.
If an academic scholarship is a tutor, they're fine to do that. But
that's what I was gonna say. Like you can get like if a basketball player need to get to tutor them in math, they can get paid for
but
that.
if Geo Baker started a basketball camp in his hometown, they would kick him out of the NCAA.
Yeah, that's crazy. You can't. That's where it doesn't make it. I think they're finally getting exposed, and these players aren't just standing for it, and they're not just like, oh, we're like, dude, half the people don't even stay 4 years. Like 4 years anymore.
And the other thing too is now that the alternative, a lot of the top prospects can go get paid $100K to play in the G League thing instead of going to college. They better fix this, or no, the top guys are going to come to college anymore.
I think they're about to just make them fix it. Like I think by the end of this court thing, they're not going to have a choice.
I think this year helped a little bit of like Jalen Suggs and like Cade Cunningham. I think that helped a lot of people wanting to come to college instead of going to G League or overseas, because I think it's one of those things that you can't. I think it's hard to quantify in the moment. For example, like Jalen Suggs making that shot, like yes, he didn't get paid like that very second, but for future long term, it does make him more marketable. He's a bigger name.
than he would have been the couple of guys like Green, and I think the guy's name is Kuminga or something like that went to the G League. Like, no one knows them now. A good year in the NBA, we'll all obviously know them. But it does give them a leg up in advertising and and those kind of things, like endorsements, for going forward now that they're going to go to the draft.
But that's what you agree with me, right? That Cade Cunningham and Suggs pretty much like helped people want to, not even themselves, like new recruits or kids in high school want to go to college instead of going to the G League and getting paid a small amount.
For those guys, because obviously them two, they were elite coming out. Like, they're both top 5-10 guys. So, no, I agree with you 100%. It kind of like, because it's almost like they're going to pass on the 100 Gs like right now to make another million in
Way
2
more,
years, hopefully.
yeah.
So,
Sure.
hopefully it works out for guys.
One
like
thing,
that.
LaMelo Ball didn't go to college, and how well his game translated to the NBA. I thought
He
And I think
had a
that's
little bit of the
also
leg up because of his name, so everyone already knew who he was. Someone that wasn't the last name Ball wouldn't have had that. But just in terms of his game transitioning, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but like I said, like Ball, we knew Ball when he was like 15, and he already had, like, people were already watching him, so he'll have it. But yeah, even the guys you mentioned, like, no one knows who the fuck they are. They know they're good. They don't really know anything about them, you know?
And they'll definitely be hard to. It'll be interesting to see where they go in the draft.
Yeah,
I'm very curious to see.
It's pretty much like guaranteed Cunningham Suggs.
Probably.
Yeah,
Like, highly likely.
Suggs Did y'all see all the highlights of him playing quarterback in high school that came out too?
No, Ryan Day talked about it. They were like legitimately wanted him to play quarterback at Ohio State.
I can see it.
But they just knew, like, he was like the guy's going to be a top 5 pick in the NBA in 2 years. But they knew it was highly likely he wasn't going to play quarterback. But I mean, those highlights, he looks good, and how big and tall he is and athletic. Like,
long, the way he can run.
Fits
he
like
can run that read option.
Like, that guy would be a really good Division I quarterback.
Gonzaga ain't gonna win a championship for a long time.
No, they really no. This is one.
Ever.
And then especially they were there in 17.
Yep.
Now to be in two of the last 5 finals.
This is the team that now they won't get the hype anymore. Like, the hype that they got this year, they'll never get that again. They can run the table like they did this year. They can look great. Have real NBA talent like Suggs. All this, no one. I'm telling you, I won't. A lot of other people, I think, in the media won't. It's crazy to even think that we're like sort of part of the media. I still don't wrap my head around that. It almost kind of reminds
me of Notre Dame getting plowed in the playoffs and people like losing respect for
sure.
When they're you get my comparison.
No, for sure.
That was Gonzaga's first time they ever got punched in the face. That was the first time they ever had a little adversity in a game where it was like early in the game, because every other team, when they're playing BYU, who's their second best team in their conference, they would just win by 30. And it's like, that doesn't like Baylor had to fight. Like, if Baylor doesn't get Corona, they could have honestly won undefeated.
That loss to Oklahoma State helped them, I think, in the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, it does help. Like, losing, it's such a stupid thing to say. Like, yeah, that loss helps, but like, it does. Like, you know how it feels. You don't. You're not invincible.
You don't feel invincible.
Yes, like, you know you have to bring your A game, and Gonzaga did not. Like, they went down so early in that game, they never came back. It wasn't even close, and that's because they don't play fucking anyone. And they had everyone's this year. They said they played those 5 teams that have big names of Kansas, Virginia, West Virginia,
Iowa.
all of them, but you don't know who your team is in November. Or in December. Like, you don't know who the fuck you are.
It's tough for them because everybody improves playing the Big 12, Big 10, the Pac-12.
They're improving.
Those tough conferences, and then Gonzaga's playing scrimmages in the West Coast Conference every night.
Even though you play those guys, shout out to them for playing whoever, but like, you didn't play the real Kansas in the first game of the season. You just didn't. Kansas got really good towards the end. And like, when you're playing in the Big 12 and the Big 10 needs to win a championship really soon. Yeah. But the Big 12 is playing so many games night in, night out, and it's like, that shows in the tournament where, I mean, Baylor didn't. Did they have a game? Even their closest game was what, Villanova?
They struggled against in the tournament. Yeah, Villanova. Yeah, because they hammered Wisconsin, with Arkansas, crushed Houston. Yeah, they just beat the crap out of everybody.
Let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this. That championship game, Baylor Gonzaga, they play that game 10 times. How many does each get? Wins.
Baylor 8, I think. 7 or 8.
I'm trying to keep in mind that Baylor shot the ball phenomenally well.
I thought the physical part of Baylor on defense was the thing that I didn't really see coming.
If you have a 7-game series, that game goes 6 games.
You think?
I really do. I think that they played so dominant. Like, I think that Gonzaga can, like, make adjustments to them if they had a series.
Because I was thinking,
I think Baylor wins it.
In my head, with 10 games, I was thinking Baylor wins like 7.
Okay. I said 8, close. But, I mean, it was no fluke, though. I know Baylor shut the lights out, but they dominated them physically. And even at the half, Gonzaga cut it to 10, but that was just because they got to the foul line a ton. They made like 11 to 13 or something the foul line first half, and that was the only reason it wasn't 20. I mean, watching that game, I saw it at 10 at the half. I was like, Baylor's kicking the hell out of them.
Even what Marty said at the beginning was such a big factor. Like, the way they just got dominated on the glass like that. And even what he said about how, like, even just, like, with, like, shorter guys, like, I'll sacrifice your inch or two for being bigger, like, physically athletic and more physical. Give me that. I mean, they just ate them up on the glass.
And you have to.
Because that's how they had so many, like, three-point opportunities, too, because they were just killing them on the offensive glass.
You got to take in counter, too, that Suggs had 2 fouls in 2 minutes.
No, it's fair. That's why I said I think Gonzaga would win 3.
Yeah.
Considering that they got dominated wire to wire, essentially.
Well, speaking of, it was March Madness time, and we made up for last year's tourney getting canceled by going bigger and harder this year. Luckily, our favorite sports drink, Body Armor, just came out with a new sports drink plus caffeine called Edge, with 100 milligrams of caffeine and 1,000 milligrams of electrolytes to keep you going through the last buzzer or finish line. Plus, it's got antioxidants, B vitamins, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. It's more than a sports drink. It's Body Armor Edge. Ev, I want to mention Dwayne Washington, I know you loved declaring.
Yeah, him and EJ Liddell both did. I think they both aren't getting agents, so we'll see.
Okay.
They're interesting guys because Dwayne, I think can be like a big, like, high energy off the bench scorer. I think he can do that in the NBA. Like, he makes big shots, he makes tough shots. Liddell's more interesting to me just in terms of he's a great offensive player. He's undersized for kind of the position. Like, he's kind of like a small power forward, which in the NBA is going to be a tough sell. He's like 6'7", really good scorer. He just can't match up defensively with like an NBA 4. Like, these guys are gonna have 4 or 5 inches on this guy. Like, it's gonna be a tough draw for him. So I'm hoping they come back. Like, I want to see them succeed, but I'd love to see them run it back again because those two guys, like, if we have those two guys back, we're a legit contender again. I don't care that we fucking fuck Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts was good. They clearly were a good basketball team. They gave Arkansas. They gave Arkansas everything they could.
They were
good. Mercer was good too.
But Mercer didn't go on and beat Florida.
Oral Roberts almost made the Elite
Mercer was good. Lehigh was good too. I'm with it. Sure. If you
Listen,
we're in the same boat. You're the more relevant person now. Every time someone brings it up, man, remember that Oral Roberts Ohio State?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't hit as hard though. But when you are a shot away from the Elite Eight, it doesn't hit as hard.
Not like Abilene Christian, Texas, when UCLA just.
That's what I'm saying. Like they proved they were legit. They were a legit team.
It's still you're in the category.
And we played horribly.
You're in. Well, obviously, I mean, Duke played horribly too when they played those teams.
But I'm saying that they went on and beat Florida.
All I gotta say is you're in the conversation now. Sucks, and you're always going to be in it. Doesn't matter what you say, you're always in it. Yes, you will.
Oral Roberts did show so well.
They showed they were good. They showed they were for real.
I don't think it's near as. It's a lot different.
If they went and got see Oral Roberts versus Ohio State, you're like, damn, I remember that.
But you're gonna remember that team, that Oral Roberts team, though.
For making that.
No, I understand, but it's still you're in the conversation.
It's what he said about Abilene Christian. It's not like they beat us and then they lost to Florida by 25.
You're still in the
They then went and beat Florida. They went and honestly probably should have beat Arkansas. Arkansas showed that.
Kind of reminded me of the Florida Gulf Coast when they made the run too.
Like that, yeah. Like
kind of reminded me.
You don't feel as bad like that Georgetown team they beat. You don't look at them as bad just because they went on and proved they were legit.
Well, also we'll get into. I want to get into some pro baseball with y'all. I know y'all are both big Yankees guys. Just some thoughts. What are y'all seeing so far this season?
Wait, before we get into Yankees, can we talk about? We got to talk about the biggest news of yesterday of how the Braves, game.
God.
How did they blow that replay?
Well, first of all, shout out to anyone who was on that replay. You're my best friend. I love you.
You had the Phillies.
I had the Phillies and the over parlay plus 350 last night. Go now, by the way, Barstool Sportsbook. There's so many promos. The bacon, egg, and cheese. The BEC is one of the best bets.
Yeah, it's hit over 7-1.
You're good for your month there. And it's like, you think it's just three innings. Just 3 innings.
It's 3 games, one first inning, no scoring. Right?
No scoring. But, yeah, go. There's so many good promos. Go check it out. But, yeah, that play.
See, I have a slight bone to pick with that promo, and I think you should too.
Oh, that we've been doing it?
That like Eddie came in and kind of just like
oh no, Eddie stole it.
Eddie came in and just stole like we literally have a first inning unders group text that dates back to like 2017 or 18, and they came in. And I love Eddie, love Clement. I think that's how they get away with this stuff.
Fuck Eddie. Eddie always gets.
Because they're nice guys. They're nice big guys that get away with this stuff. We have guys like me, Marty, Jeff D'Lo, Colby, Nolan. Smitty, like we have guys that Glenny is a part of that, so that's why I don't put on Glenny.
No,
Glenny's in on it.
Glenny's won. He's always.
Glenny's always been on it. So him, no gripe.
Fair.
Absolutely no gripe with Glenn. But Clem and Eddie, we have a group of guys. We've been doing this for years.
No, you know what?
Years.
I'm taking Clem out too because Eddie's literally like my best friend here. He fuck you. He literally. Like, even Balls was sitting there. He goes, yo, what do you think about we do BEC, like Balls, Eddie, Clem, and all do first thing? He goes, that's kind of, and Balls, like, that's kind of my thing, but I don't, like, you know, Balls.
Well, no, that's why I
Balls
said,
does a shrug.
Because Eddie, proposed, Eddie was the one who proposed it. We're like, oh.
Yeah, and I
guess.
I don't see them. I mean, the fact that they took that, you're right. We should be mad. Fuck Eddie.
I have a gripe.
Even though it's a great bet.
Because we have receipts.
Oh, yeah.
We have the receipts of this literally named first inning no runs.
Someone texted it the first
unders.
day. It was like, hey, let's bring this back.
I need to do like the me bet Marty Ev. The
we should
just do me, you, and Jeff D'Lo or me, you, and Smitty or something.
Yeah. We'll just start doing
MES, MEs.
Yeah. We'll just start doing our first inning will be better than your first inning. So that's some
three
bullshit.
different games.
We've been doing it for years.
For years.
And Eddie just brought it. He's like, oh, it's a good idea. I was like, you know what? I mean, Eddie is a little smaller than this probably.
Yeah.
That is him. But yeah, regardless.
We were doing it just for love of the game.
The MLB is an absolute joke. Watching that, you can't physically sit there and be like, you know what, he looks safe. I watched it 70 times to see where I could see it.
I mean, that one that went viral that they show kind of from like the behind, like it's kind of like diagonal behind. I mean, his foot's not even close to that bag. Not
like,
even
his heel. It's like, dude, your heel doesn't scrape like that. It just went when
it was in the air. It was not. But even if it was like on the ground, I don't even know if it would have touched it. Like it was like far to the side.
It was one of the worst that you can't, especially because everyone does get a little upset with MLB reviews because it takes so long, and it's like some of them are so obvious.
If you're gonna take that long, you better get it right.
Exactly,
because the game's already kind of slow as it is.
It's way too slow, and it's 6-6 too. It's a huge call. I know it's like the 15th game. It doesn't matter. Like that's a game, especially gamblers like. Obviously, saw Dave.
Dave was so mad about it. I saw his Twitter.
When he starts atting people, that's what you know. He's really lost. But, dude, it's like, how can you look at that and say he's safe? Like, it doesn't. And I understand that they call him safe first, right?
No, they called him out.
They called him.
No, excuse me. I'm sorry. Safe is safe.
They call him safe. So they obviously just looked at it for so long. And they're like, all right, we can't figure it out.
It's inconclusive.
They're just going to call. But it's just, dude, if you looking at that, just call him out. It's way better than calling him safe because that's just such a bad call. And that's where baseball's so dumb sometimes.
I just don't see how they can get that wrong. I just don't even know how that's even valid.
I don't. It's just literally, I'll always credit Tommy for this. Someone needs a common sense department being like, hey, common sense guy, what do you think? Dude, you can't, he's not near the plate. He's fucking out. I don't know what to tell you.
Baseball just has this, they just can't stay out of their own way when it comes to this stuff or just like, spreading the game with social media. Like they're the biggest Twitter police on spreading clips. Like they just constantly are in their own way of growing. To a certain
extent, too, which I hate because there's like
they let certain people do it.
There's one person that I'm not even gonna name because I fucking can't stand.
I know
them.
who you're talking about.
They literally just take the clip and talk over. It's like if we did that, they'd kill us in a second.
We would get our Twitter accounts just deleted.
But yeah, MLB, they gotta wake up, man. Even if
Manfred's a joke.
If Mike Trout is tweeting about saying how bad the call is, that's when that robot's tweeting about it.
That guy doesn't talk.
You know it's bad. Like that guy, he should be the most marketable. He's literally Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth is more known than Mike Trout, I feel like. And Mike Trout's one of the best baseball players we'll ever see.
He's never played in the playoffs either.
And no one even knows anything about him. No one knows anything. It's crazy. But you need to get that right. I don't care because I had the Phillies. I really needed it last night, so thank you. But the fact that's one of the worst calls in the world. And to the Yankees, I got a ton of problems.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hear it, yeah.
Oh, I got a ton of problems.
The one at the top of my list, Aaron Hicks.
Oh, okay.
He's hitting third, right?
Let's start with that.
The logic, I understand we don't have a lot of lefties. They're trying to stick a lefty in the middle. I get it. In the middle of like the heart of our guys. At this point, I'd rather have Talkman there. Talkman's the guy. I love Talkman. What I understand Aaron Hicks is a good outfielder. I don't care. I can't stand this guy batting third, when we get a rally from the guys at the bottom, like we have guys 8-9, 7-8-9, they're all better than him. Every one of the guys in our lineup on our roster is better than him at the plate right now.
Not Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce is the worst baseball player in the world.
But I think Aaron Hicks, like, it just drives me nuts when we get a rally going, and then Aaron Hicks, bases loaded, grounds to a double play, and it's just like, you think it's a baseball team. When your number 3 hitter gets up, you get excited.
But you know
Our
what?
number 3 hitter gets up, and I'm like, oh, we're fucked.
It's one thing if you're weak at 3, but you don't have any other hitters, but y'all got hitters everywhere.
Yes.
For sure.
Exactly.
We have embarrassment of riches, but it's annoying when the lowest guy, in my opinion, is batting third.
But you know what? I don't blame Aaron Hicks because the Yankees are so dumb because they took Aaron Hicks out once and Brett Gardner went to third. So that shows you that they don't care who it is. They don't care what they're batting. They want a lefty. And I actually don't understand that. No matter where you put the lefty, because we Yankees usually only have one lefty usually in the lineup.
See, all our bench bats are lefties. Like Talkman's a lefty, like Wade's a lefty.
They don't want him in the lineup.
Mike Ford's a lefty, but dude, Ford's a first baseman. But
no matter where you put the lefty, you're gonna have 8 righties anyway. Next,
exactly.
So put
him like
Aaron
6th
Hicks
or something,
7th or 8th, and put Gio Urshela up there or somebody up to third, because it's almost like, hey pal, I'm batting 127. Take me out. It's like, put me in, let me try and figure my shit out. And like, I just don't get why we keep putting it. And also, the Yankees are so fucking dumb. Like, beginning of the season, Clint Frazier is hitting great. Then he had 3 games where he kind of sucked. And then all of a sudden and I'm okay with putting Brett Gardner in because he's hitting well. It's Brett Gardner, whatever. But then you say to Clint Frazier, you're our left fielder, and then you just take him out for the next 3 games, and Aaron Hicks is sitting there batting 127. It's like, what are we doing? You're just putting our one guy down because he had 3 bad games. Aaron Hicks is one of the worst. Aaron Hicks also, I think he's a righty. He's just a better hitter righty. He hit that home run righty. He might just be a righty.
He's the one that's been driving me nuts all year. Because even last year, you guys, like the Short Porch Boys, would get on Brett Gardner. And I know it was more of like we want Frazier in the lineup. I just never liked the Gardner slander because Gardner's a gamer, and I love Brett Gardner.
We took it back.
But
our past episodes, we took it back. We said we were a little too upset about.
Because I remember even when I joined you guys for the playoffs last year, was doing the episodes. I always said, I was like, you guys give Brett Gardner too much flack. I mean, but I agree with you. I don't like the way that like they tell Frazier he's the guy. Like, taking him out here and there, fine. Yeah. Totally get it. It's baseball. Brett Gardner's a good player, too. Like, he's fast. You got to get him on the field. But I agree with you. For him to, like, not get a hit for, like, 2 days and then just pull him for, like, a full series, young guy, good bat, good speed. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No, it doesn't make sense.
Because he would be starting every day on, like, every other team.
Yankees are fine, though. They'll be fine. Their pitching's actually been better than I thought. Herman, I think it's a fake send down because they don't need a 5th pitcher for a while, so it's like they'll just shut him down. But other teams, Mets are. That
was an interesting ending when Conforto threw his elbow up on that ball over the plate last week too.
The fact that that's not reviewable is crazy.
I mean, the ball
right down the middle.
The ball was literally over. You could see it's literally over the plate. Literally,
I mean, it was like down the middle,
over the plate.
You review that, you see that, and you call it back. Whatever, we'll figure it out. Like the fact that change that rule, you should be able to do that. But the Mets, man, this company, you go on Twitter. They're winning 6-2. It's like, and Frank the Tank's like, I'm gonna kill myself. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. Like we were talking about Frank last week. It's like when they win, is he happy?
No, because he knows that the downfall's come. But I also know because he's been around for so long that the Mets will do it. But like what the Mets did yesterday was so dumb. They put out a statement that they talked to a professional weather person. There's a better word for it, but they said we talked to a better professional meteorologist, and he was like, that guy gets so sad. The FedEx guy,
the Papa Shot's not in
just
the lobby.
walked in.
That's the first time I've seen him in like 2 weeks.
Also. Yeah, he's upset.
He got overcoming here without the Papa Shot.
You guys, when I walk in from the train in the morning, I usually see him walking up and down the street.
I see him every time.
I always see him.
But he walked in here with a small, just a walk in. He's just upset. He's like, man, my shine ain't here. But back to the Mets. They're so dumb for they put out a statement. We talked. It's like, dude, everyone in New York knew it was going to rain yesterday. You had your number 2 pitcher go up, warm up, go out there. you can't use Stroman for 5 more days now. And all the media's kind of come out to Stroman. All Stroman says is, like, we got to be smarter about sending everybody out in this pouring rain where Lindor's or just paid Lindor a shit ton of money. He's sitting in a puddle. He could get hurt. Like, how dumb do you have to be? Just delay it a little bit. You know it's coming.
No, and as much as I like hate Stroman now because how much shit he talked about the Yankees in the offseason, valid. 100% valid.
And everyone's coming after him like, oh, like he's just talking about the Mets. Like, dude, like, it's right. Like, the Mets are just dumb, man.
No,
he's
trying to be the common sense guy.
Yes.
He's like, yo, guys, it's pouring.
Pouring rain.
We can see outside. It's pouring. Probably should.
What was it? One out they played?
What was it, like 7 pitches or something?
And the funny thing is, that game picks up with a man on first, nobody out in August.
Yep.
It's like, what are we doing here, dude?
It's so funny.
But that's the Mets, man. That's just the Mets for you.
It's one of those things they can change ownership. They can start spending money, signing guys. They're still the Mets.
Yep.
They're still the Mets.
Mintzy, what's going on with you? And I see you just jerk off college baseball. So what's going on?
I'll just be honest and just transparent. I see an opening. Barstool Sports hadn't done a lot with college baseball, and that's the thing. It's like this Northeast, like it's a new world for me because I know how much y'all care about pro baseball. You got the Mets, Yankees, Phillies, Red Sox, but like I'm like a man without a country for being from Louisiana, Mississippi. You don't have a team, so everybody in the South. LSU is like Louisiana's pro baseball team. Ole Miss and State are like the Mississippi. Everybody cares about college because they don't have pro teams. And so that's why college baseball is massive in the Southeast. And just being honest here, I feel like I was brought in as another SEC guy along with Walker to grow our Southeastern Conference presence at Barstool. So it's a natural fit for me to go after SEC baseball. And you know, Ole Miss, Arkansas this weekend, they had 34,000 fans at the 3 games, or 33,000 fans at the 3 games. I mean, the interest is there in the South, and the numbers back it up. When Mississippi State draws 13 or 14,000 a game, Arkansas does. I've got big support from LSU. They're a big program. And so all the Texas schools care a lot in the Big 12, the ACC. So I just kind of see it as something that I can go after and do. And then I've got support from Barstool. I'm already been cleared to go to the SEC tournament. I'm going to go to the College World Series in Omaha. You know, I'm just going to go after it the next 2 months. And I tweeted out just being transparent, like, hey, I'm going to try to support this. If you like college baseball, follow it. And my Twitter went nuts. I gained like 3,000 followers Friday night off it. Awesome. So I'm just going to go really hard at it from now because the College World Series is over in mid-June. Like, we're only talking about an 8-10 week window here. And so I'm just going to – and then, you know, this is kind of a deader time in sports.
From the Northeast, people do watch College World Series. I don't –
World Series, yeah.
I'll be
– They got gambling lines on the World Series, too.
I don't give a shit about college baseball. No, that's totally fair. But the World Series, I do like watching.
Well, Omaha's like a destination, and it's a thing. But I'm just looking at it, like, objectively. Like, this time of year for sports, I'm not a big Major League Baseball guy, as y'all obviously know with the text thread. But I support Pelicans. I went to Pelicans Nets and sat in the suite the other night. But I don't know. I just kind of feel like, what should I be doing these next few months? And I just see a window. Nobody's really Carabas has been doing a little more college baseball stuff lately, too, which is kind of good.
Which is cool, too, because like I said, I don't give a shit about it. But with you two tweeting about it and, like, seeing the Ole Miss beer showers and, like, seeing all of it and, like, seeing how crazy these pitchers are going nuts, like, it is cool to see. Like, 'cause I guess no one's tweeting it or no one's showing me it. I'm not, like, ESPN's not covering it. Yeah. So, like, I've never really watched it. But, yeah, it's definitely a lane for you.
I'm thinking about doing something, you know how we have all the NCAA tournament basketball brackets that are so popular? I want to do one maybe for the NCAA baseball tournament to try to get people to engage more. You know, maybe give out some prizes. I think that might be a good idea.
I do want to go to an Ole Miss beer shower.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Wait, do they do that every home run?
Yeah, but they do
does
for
it have to be hit?
No, they do it for every they do
so
it for every
home run. Left field, center,
awesome.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they do it. They do it for all of them. But just those SEC weekends, man, that atmosphere at Swayze, I mean, gosh, like I said, 33,000 fans out there. And it's not just
like
Ole
you
Miss.
said, like a cool, like, a teenager word, like Swayze. Like that.
Yeah, Swayze fan. Yeah, like, yeah. No, but then,
a rapper.
But it's not just the thing is it's not just Ole Miss with the great atmospheres. Mississippi State, I mean, I don't love them as a school, obviously, but they've got a phenomenal baseball atmosphere. Arkansas's like that. LSU's like that. So it's kind of a world that Barstool hadn't exposed yet. And we've got the other thing. People that like college baseball love Barstool. Like, it's kind of like a lot of the same demographics. And so, so far, I'm getting a good response. I can't wait till we get regulated gambling lines on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to be on here on Pick Central. You know, that could be my counter to the pro baseball is giving the college pick.
Yep.
And I think that might be a year or two away. But I'm just going to go hard at it for a couple months. I'm going to LSU Ole Miss baseball in the Ole Miss spring game. I'm going to go to Arkansas LSU, SEC tourney, Omaha. You know, we're going to do Playboy Marty's going to go with me. We're going to do videos. We're just going to see what happens. And luckily, it's so cool to work at Barstool, where y'all obviously know this too. When you have ideas, you just send them up and people are just like, try it. You know, it's not – I've worked at other media companies where they, you know, you can't get a pro.
You catch some steam behind it. Could be a cool thing. Yeah, it's definitely good.
Are the games –
It's only 2 months too. Like, it's not my life, you know. I'm not like 12 months a year on it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've been seeing a lot – are the games usually super high scoring?
The Sunday ones – so the way college baseball –
I've seen a ton of like 18, 14.
Ole Miss
like
yesterday. Ole Miss was
games.
down 11-0, tied it at 14, and lost 18-14 to Arkansas yesterday.
Jesus.
But no, the Sunday ones are Ev because none of these teams have 3 good aces. Like Friday night, they throw their first round picks, and the Friday games are 2-1, 3-2. But then by Sunday, the bullpens are depleted, and you got your number 3 guys, some freshmen in there that you're trying to get through 4 or 5 innings. And so it's like bet unders on Friday and overs on Sunday.
Okay.
Is pretty much what it'll be when it comes out. We need to get to our picks for today because we got about 4 minutes left here on the show. Yeah, it's been fun. Hey, guy, we got the fellas back together though. I'm thrilled to have y'all back. Great show today. But anyway, I mean, anybody can go first. I guess I will because I'm allegedly in first, but we'll see next week when it goes to court. But for the time being, under 1.5 in the first 5 for the Texas Rangers. The Devil Rays minus 1.5 because they're a huge favorite. Milwaukee minus 136. The Padres minus a 1.5. NBA taking the Dallas Mavericks, the 2.5-point home underdog against the Sixers. And I'm taking Phoenix laying a ton against an awful Houston team. It's 12.5, and those are my picks for the day.
I think next week we literally have like a podium where everyone talks, so there's no back and forth until the end, and we have like I state my case, Mintz states his case, you state yours, Brandon, and then we could talk about it. I think that's how we have to do it, right?
Yeah, I think it's the only fair way. I do. We need someone who's like a real gambler, who is completely impartial.
Yes.
Like I agree that Big Cat's a little too close to home. I think we need
Big
someone.
Big Cat will like help Brandon out in some way because he likes him and he's on his show. He will help him out. Like he knows me, he knows you, he knows us too well. We need someone. Dave is honestly the perfect person, but he probably won't give a shit.
Yeah, he would be. He would because he will be. Dave will call it how he sees it for sure.
I think I talked
Not that
to him
Dan will
enough.
too, but
I think that I could text Dave and ask him. I think I'll ask him. See what he says.
it's fair. I mean, yeah, the worst he just says nope.
I'm definitely curious. Well, y'all want to go ahead and get y'all's picks in?
Yeah, I'll go. I have 3 picks. I have the Nationals, Barstool Sports book, my parlays, Nationals, Yankees, 1.5. TJ, whoever takes the picks, didn't mean to say Yankees money line because they're minus like 190. It's Nationals, Yankees minus 1.5, and Mets.
All right.
I'm on Yankees run line too. Yankees minus 1.5. Orioles money line, White Sox money line, and Reds money line. I also have this is a 2:00 special. I got the Red Sox Twins over 9. I didn't put this on the card. I forgot to add it, but a pick I love the Red Sox today.
They've been playing pretty good.
I'm gonna ride the hot hand. I think they're both not. I mean, I just know Jay Happ's pitching for the Twins. That guy stinks. They know Jay Happ very well. They hit against him a lot the last few years. The Red Sox, I think, are plus like 125.
Red Sox hit like 5 home runs. Like the
bats are hot right now.
JD had 3 and Devers had 2. Like
their bats are red hot right now. And Jay Happ is that guy can get shelled at any.
Marty, you're not getting us into the NBA this year?
I'm going to.
Okay.
It's getting soon. I was watching the Magic the other night. I went to the Magic game against the Pacers the other night, and the Magic are bad.
Oh, they're horrible. Yeah.
And they traded their
They
whole
traded
team.
everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna get into it soon. I just been watching a lot of baseball lately.
I'm going to openly ask you on here, Ev. I know you're out of town this weekend, but I'm going to openly invite Marty. Pelicans are in MSG Sunday at 1:00. I've never been to MSG, so I'm pumped about it.
You know what? It's my birthday. Sunday.
Oh, wow.
So if I'm not doing something,
Well, it's early. You could do something after.
That's
It's only
not a bad idea.
1 o'clock start.
Oh, and if anyone has ever listened to me in a while back, the Travis the chimpanzee thing's almost done.
That's so funny you said that because I was thinking about it yesterday.
The Travis
I
the
swear to God, it
chimpanzee-
crossed my mind. I was like, I wonder when they're going to finish that.
The Travis chimpanzee documentary. It's going to be like a legit like documentary, not like long, but it's going to be like a Netflix type like vibe. Like we went into it thinking it'd be a little kind of funny. Then we realized how serious the situation was and how we talked to. Let me tell you, when we talked to the cop who shot the monkey, he's never done an interview on it. We're the first people. He said no to like HBO, Netflix. His son's a stoolie, so he said yes to it. It's fucking nuts. So
I'm looking forward to
look out for it.
Well, I want to appreciate our guys in there, Za, TJ, appreciate all y'all.
Boys, that was a
fun
show.
Oh, dude, it was just great to have y'all back. The guys are back. Yeah, the boys are back. And tomorrow we get a Rico Bosco appearance as well. Going to join us. And I'll be hosting the rest of the week. Get well soon, Brandon Walker. And stay tuned. The Yak is up next. And have a good day, everybody.
No cameras on.
I see that Frank finger point, that bite. He's